Oh my god, it's like hotter than a warlock's nutsack in this car right now. Hey guys, so as you can see I'm driving and I have the camera mounted. I'm not holding it in the air and the Celtic Goth can't get mad at me now, so hopefully you can see me alright. I'm sorry if the camera hum when I was jiggling. Anyways, so I am headed to work and I thought I would just chat with you guys for a bit. I was actually thinking about doing like a story time. Well, yeah, like a story time. So last night I was talking to Akimortis. He's a fellow YouTuber. We were chatting on Instagram and we were talking. Somehow we got on the subject of speaking in like crowds, I guess, or like one-on-one with people, like socializing basically. And I was saying how I used to be like wicked shy when I was a little kid. Like, shy isn't even the word for it. I had no interest in talking to anyone in school or outside of my family. I just didn't want to associate with people. So I think it was like up until the 4th grade, I did not speak one word in school. Like, not even hello or anything to teachers or fellow students. I just didn't want to talk to people. And, you know, when they would call your name, like roll call, they would call my name and I would just be like, I wouldn't even say here. I was just like, hand up, that's it. And obviously, everybody thought I was mental. The teachers would keep me after school and try to get me to talk. And I would just be like, shake my head, no, I'm not doing it. You can't make me. So, I remember like one teacher, she was a bitch. She was like, you're not going home until you say something to me. I think I finally like caved. I think this was like 1st grade. I think I caved and like, I don't even know what I said. I think I was just like, I think she was like, do you want to go home? And I was like, yes. And then she drove me home, which is like weird to have a teacher drive you home, but whatever. But after that, I still didn't talk. It didn't do anything. It didn't get me to talk whatsoever. My mother fucking tricked me in, I think it was kindergarten. She told me, because I have a lot of family that lives in Italy. Like my grandparents were there, they passed now, but my aunts and uncles, cousins and stuff like that. And she was like, oh, we're gonna make a tape to send to Italy. And I just want you to talk and say hello, tell your grandparents hi, and like say like what your favorite food is. Like, she asked me like all these questions and I was like dumb. I was like, oh, okay, we're gonna send it to Italy. So whatever, we made the tape. I go into school, I think it was like the following week or whatever, and they had sit down, like they were like, all right class, now we're gonna all sit down and listen to something. And I was like, oh, okay. Little did I know it was the tape of me talking, thinking I was talking to my family in Italy. My mother fucking gave it to them. I was mortified. I just remember like hearing my voice coming out of the thing and I was like, I can't believe she did this to me. I can't believe she lied to me. I was so mad. And everybody's looking at me like the last thing I want is attention from anybody. And when I was younger, I was just like, oh my god, everybody's fucking staring at me. That was like traumatizing for me. Like other instances I remember talking or in nursery school or preschool, I forget what you call it. It was before kindergarten. And I had the class with my cousin. He was the same age as me. And I wouldn't talk in that class either. I would just go into the bathroom and talk to him because it was like a unisex bathroom. So I would talk to my cousin in the bathroom. And then that was about the end of it. But even at home, I would talk to my parents and like my cousins and uncles and aunts and stuff like that, my sister. But neighbors, I didn't want anything to do with them. Like family, like extended family, like, you know, like cousins of like cousins, or my father's like family and stuff like that weren't like my close family. I didn't talk to them. I hid behind my father or my mother, or I hid behind the couch. I don't know. And I don't think it was just shyness. Like, I legit just had no interest in talking to people. I don't know. So I believe it was come 4th grade, and I don't know why. I was like, okay, I can't keep this charade up anymore. Or whatever it is I was doing. I was like, I'm gonna have to talk. Like, I knew the day was coming, and I kept putting it off, and I kept putting it off. So I just remember being in class the first day, and they did roll call. They called my name, and I was like, here. Everybody just turned and was like, and stared at me. I was so fucking embarrassed. But I was like, oh, okay, I did it. All right, I did it. And like, that was the end of that. Sorry, I had to get out and pump gas, and there was like this car like behind me, or like across, and it was like a mother and like a kid. And the kid was like hanging out the window. My back was to him. He's like, eh, eh. I'm like, ugh. And he kept doing it. And I think he was doing it so I would turn around so he could see what I look like. And he was just like, ah! And then I turn around and he's like, fuck you. I hate children. I'm sorry. I like children if I know them. Like if I know like my niece and stuff, or like a family member's kid, but like just some random child, it's like, ah, ah, a scream, it's like, shut the fuck up. I'm sorry, am I awful? Anyway, so getting back to my story. So my mother told me like way after the fact, obviously when I was older, she was like, yeah, did you know like people came to the house like because they thought you were mental and they thought there was something wrong with you? And they questioned us, like, what were we doing to you? Like, did she have a bad fall? Did she have an accident? Basically, like, were my parents abusing me? And they were like, no, she talks to us. She just doesn't want to talk to other people. Which was the truth. I just didn't want to. So, anyway, so that was that story. Let's see, what other... These other ones are more like... This is teenage years, I guess. Being a terrible teenager. Ah, bug! I was awful when I was younger. Like, just causing trouble and stuff with my friends. Like, looking back at it now, like, I'm just like, I can't believe I did some of that shit. That was mean. So, we used to go out, I don't know if any of you guys used to do this when you were younger, but we used to go out and smash mailboxes. My friend used to have this pickup truck, and we used to go out, get a baseball bat, sometimes just like some sort of a pipe, and at nighttime drive by people's houses, and if they had like the mailboxes out by the street on the post, we would just like smash the fuck out of them. Like, just drive by and be like, and we would just laugh our asses off, like, oh my god, that's so funny. Like, now, if somebody did that to my mailbox, I would be so fucking mad. I'd be like, who is these little punks that are fucking vandalizing my house? But at the time, yeah, we were just like, oh, this is so fun. And I remember one time my friend, like, she wound up to like smash the hell out of like a mailbox, and it was just like, ding! Like, she was like, oh my god, the whole thing was like metal. She's like, I think I just shattered my wrist. We probably deserved it. We used to steal stuff off of people's property during Halloween time. Of course, Halloween. Like their decorations. we so like, you know, like we stole their pumpkins and then we just go throw the pumpkins down the street and smash them. One of the things that I remember stealing, because I still have it, is this giant, like, it was like a plastic skeleton, and I still have it to this day. I use it for decoration at my house during Halloween time out front, and every time I put it out there, I'm like, I hope nobody steals this thing, because it's like right out by the sidewalk in the street, and I'm just like, I'd be so upset if somebody took this, and I'm the one who stole it from somebody else. It just holds memories for me, because I'm just like, I can't believe I still have this from when I was a teenager, and now I'm using it myself. So I thought that was pretty funny. But one of the times I'll never forget was I was with my friend Chris, Kelly, I think we had like 2 friend Chris's, and we were going to steal Halloween stuff, and there was this house, and they had a wall. It was a pretty tall wall, and all the decorations were up top over the wall. So we had our friend Kelly's minivan, well, it was her parents' minivan, and me and Chris, we like pull up to the curb, slide the door open on the side to the minivan, like, slowly crawl out, and we're like scaling the wall. And all of a sudden you hear from like out the window, I wouldn't touch that if I were you. And like, no joke, it sounded like a witch. Like, I'm not exaggerating that whatsoever. I don't know if the woman was old and really sounded like a witch, or she was putting on a voice to try to creep us out, but it was literally like that. And we were like, oh my God, and we just like took off. And we didn't get anything from that house, but I still joke about that to this day with my friend. I wouldn't touch that if I were you. Another terrible thing we used to do was, I worked at Pizza Hut when I was younger. I think I was like 16 or something. And not to mention the fact that like I would drop the food on the floor and then I would just like pick it back up and give it to the people. Like, I remember a time I like dropped a whole like bucket of toppings, like it was like sausage topping. And I was like, oh, I'll just put this back in the container. Like, that's so bad. I can't believe I did that to people. At the end of the night, there would be leftover pizza from people who wouldn't pick up. So there would be like a ton of pizza left over, like at least like 5 every night. And I would take them all the time, and the manager would be like, what do you want with all this pizza? I was like, I'll eat it. It'll go to good use. So he'd be like, all right. So I'd take it, and me and my friends would go out, and we would go around neighborhoods, and we would take slices of pizza and shove them in people's mailboxes. And then we would also take them and like throw them in the beds of people's like trucks, like pickup trucks. Imagine, like, I don't even, like, the people probably didn't even see the pizza in the mailbox. It was probably the mailman would go to put the mail in there and be like, oh, there's pizza in here. I'm trying to think what else. I know I used to do other shit that was awful. Oh, did you guys ever have, like, that one person in your neighborhood, like, around town that everybody knew because he was a wacko, or she was a wacko? We had this guy, his name was Reverend Ralph, and we'd also call him the God guy. He would walk around with this like giant briefcase, a huge cross necklace, like a hat. He almost looked like the guy from Poltergeist. Remember the one that like would come like by the house, like to come find the little girl or whatever? I don't remember what his name was, but anyways, he looked like that, and he was always walking around town, and he was always harassing people about God. Like, if kids would ride their bikes on the street and not like on the sidewalk, he'd be like, God will get you if you don't get on top of the sidewalk. Or if you just looked different, like me and my friend did, we would take the bus all the time to the local music store with our guitars, and he would always be on there and be like, whatever the cross sign was, or he would just say something to us like religious wise, and we'd be like, yeah. And I know one time friends of mine worked at it was like a lumber store. It was like, I think it was like a Grossman's. I don't know if you guys have that. Oh, I almost missed my street. don't know if you guys have that around you. But there was a payphone outside, and they knew the number to the payphone, and that was his route. Like, he'd walk by that area, like every day or every week or whatever it was. And he called the phone number on the payphone one day when the guy was walking by, and they could see him out the window, and he's like looking around. He picks up the phone, and they're like, "Ralph, this is God." And I guess he like freaked out. He was like, and then he like slammed the phone down and like took off. The poor guy. I don't know what was wrong with him. He was definitely mental. And then when I was working at Pizza Hut one time, he came in and I was like, oh my, like, I didn't see him at first. My friend came back back in the back where I was making the pizza. And I was like, oh my God, you're not gonna believe it, the God guy's here. And I was like, oh shit. All I did was I walked out there, and then I just saw him and I started laughing. Like, he wasn't even doing anything. I just started laughing. And he was like, that girl is laughing at me. He was so mad. I was like, oh my God, he's gonna kill me. I don't remember what happened. I think he like ordered his food, and I took off in the back, and then he ordered his food and left. But I don't know, it was pretty funny. But anyways, so those are some of my terrible tales of being a teenager in my youth when I didn't talk and I was a mute. So I don't know, I hope you guys found that mildly entertaining. And yeah, I don't know, I just felt like chatting a bit about that. Reliving the past is always nice. I miss being that age again. Knowing what I know now, I probably wouldn't have been so evil, but thank you guys for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I will talk to you later.